something is something. But there's just positives and negatives about it. I'll let you form your own opinion about how you feel about the development notes, whether you like them, whether you whatever. I just wish that was more about some other stuff that's going on. Like I said, scenario revamp is something that definitely needs to be looked into. It's very important that those resources are spent there. And freaking your support, we definitely need to be able to get more of them faster. They didn't improve team ratings, but that's something that they can do easily and fast. And it's not like you have too many players that are approaching MM status, to be honest. I think there's only one or two M plus players, and I don't think you're gonna really have too much, but it's still something to be looked at. Another thing that would have been nice to talk about as well is the 2022 development missions. I'm pretty sure we're all looking and hoping and waiting for those. So when would those be implemented? When are we getting the name change of Baseball Superstars 2022 as well? These are things that we want to know of what's going on and how are things going to be implemented and moving forward. But there is some good news. We got the clone trainers coming, so if you don't have them, you can go ahead and look for them to drop later on this month. So that's a wonderful thing. But they're just other unknowns.
What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny Do, and I'm coming back at you with another Baseball Superstars 2021 video, my boys. And my mistake, my boys, it is 2022. The game has not updated yet, but it will officially be Baseball Superstars 2022 soon. At least we hope soon. So my boys, I hope you guys had a happy holidays. I hope you got your party on, your drink on, whatever you do, you got it on. I hope you had a great New Year's, and I hope you're starting off this year great, my boys. But I want to talk to you about the development notes that have just released today. They've just released. I have seen them, and I've been talking in Discord about it. I'm just going to give you my opinion of it. Of course, my opinion is not the be-all opinion. It's just going to be coming from my perspective. You may have different perspectives of it as well, so I'm just going to give you my point of view. So what I want to just look at first is on these development notes. So for 22, there's an update plan in January. We're finally going to get the Summoner Wars dummy trainers. They're coming finally, my boys. So we're gonna, from what it says in the notes, we're gonna get Mav and Art in the third week of January. As we see right here, I will highlight it. Third week of January, we're gonna get Mav and Art, and then also coming in February, we're gonna get Nikki and Cammy. So we're finally going to get the Summoner Wars dual trainers as well. They did release pictures of them as well. That's going to be fake Art, and that's going to be fake Mav. Now my boys, fake Mav is ugly, man. If you ain't got the real OG Mav, I feel sorry for you, my boys, having to get that ugly Mav right here. That's one of the things. I don't think anybody's going to have any negative things to say about anything about the dual trainers. I mean, there are some notes that's listed here as well. I let you guys pause and read them if you want to read that, or wait for the official English notes to be released so you can read them there as well. Okay, my boys, this is where there's going to be some controversy here. So they're coming out with, they says property trainer launch, and there's some good here, my boys, and there is also a lot of bad too, my boys. So there's not gonna just be one Tiger King anymore, King Tiger. It's not gonna be one. It's gonna be 4 of them now, and each stat. That's wonderful, my boys, to be honest. Like, being able to have the trainer and and make whatever synergy of batters you want. So you know how before we had to do strength and dex and things like that. Now if you have really good cores, you can just say, hey, like let's say if you were gonna just focus on a strength deck period, all your batters was going to be strength, so let's say if you were aiming for your first base deck, instead of having an int Britra, you can now have a strength or even a dex Britra to sort of help with the stats a little bit more than the int would. And then what you can do after that is say, hey, I know since all my batters are going to be strength, I'm just going to focus on my cores being the opposite. So I could just focus, since I knew all my batters are going to be strength, I just focus on strictly nothing but dex cores. So, it changes up the synergy a lot. I love that, honestly. but I think the implementation of this is really bad. It seems like we're gonna have to re-pull for trainers and different things like that. Now, here's my thing, like my 5-star trainer that I already got, like that's worthless and I know I can't use him. Can I just convert him over completely? Draguna as an example. Hey, he's a mental pitcher. Like, hey, can I convert him to a int pitcher or a dex pitcher and actually use him, or will I have to re-pull him all the way to 5-star again to do so? So there's things that I wonder about that. Also, just re-pulling the trainers period, if we have to do that. I mean, it's gonna be very well intensive, and that's great if it makes the whales happy, but at the same time, for your Dolphins and your free-to-play players, this system just seems like an overkill. I'm pretty sure it's gonna lose a lot of players in the end versus gaining. So I don't know how they're fully gonna implement this as of now, but there's just mixed things about it. Another thing as well, UR support. Like, when these trainers come out, am I gonna have to get another 15 UR supports for these? Like, I don't know. UR support stones, they're already very, very rare. There you think about ×4 on these trainers. Like, honestly, a better implementation would be just allowing us to change the stat of the trainer with an item. I personally would prefer that over the way that they're doing this. But we'll see what happens, my boys. Like, I'm excited about it, but I'm very down about this system as well. I do like that it's going to provide more synergy among trainers. One of the things about trainers that has always been bad is, oh man, you can make this many skills, but stat-wise, they wouldn't fit. So there's good and bad about this. I really hope that they implement it right, take some time to go back to the drawing board and implement this right. Property system, it seems really, really well, but how they're implementing it might not be the best. I don't know. I'm not wanting to be like, oh man, this system is gonna suck. I can't predict the future. I think it's actually great, but it's just that it seems very extensive on resources, and I don't know if that's the way that this game should head, considering what it is right now. Okay. Equipment awakening system, my boys. I am excited about this, but I feel like this might have been added a little too late, my boys. Now, what this is supposed to do is this is supposed to basically add substacks to your gear in your MyPlayer Classic. Great. Might be a little too late, my boys, because it's going to cost gold, as you see. So if we scroll down, as you see, in order to unlock these things, it's going to cost gold. Now, my boys, everybody been using their gold to try to get the highest quality of gear. Are they gonna give some people back gold, or they like? And I'm not saying this for myself. I still have over 100,000 gold in my MyPlayer Classic. I didn't burn all my gold on a high quality. I just got the gear that I wanted, and I think most of my gear is like 50, 60 quality or something like that. So I didn't burn all my gold. So this is not for. I'm not saying this for me. But I'm saying this for other players that have burned through all their gold to get the highest quality of gear because of this was not implemented yet. Now you bring this, and it's great that we have this, but is there going to be a way that we can make gold to apply this, or is there going to be a way, that gold is refunded so they can apply this now, or are they just, hey, they SOL'd? So that's one of the things I wonder. I do like it because it allows you to make your MyPlayer Classic player even better. So, I mean, we might be talking from mine going to an M3 to an M4. It's possible. I don't know for sure. But it is possible now because of something like this is implemented. I'm happy about it. But once again, I'm like, okay, like, did it come too late? Is it screwing over the older player base? How are they going to get gold now? Is the season going to be expanded? There's so many questions to ask. I don't know, my boys. I do like it. Just, hey, what about the other stuff? Okay, my boys. Now, number 3 is just some basic stuff. It's some updating that they need to do, and I'm happy about it. And this should have been implemented, let's say, a long time ago. So, player titles, we're gonna finally be able to choose player titles, which is great. We haven't been able to choose player titles in back in the day, and you know, sometimes you were making them better and you got Big Boy. You might have wanted to get Big Boy, but because you got so many hits, they gave you Meteor Shower instead, and you might have been focusing on a hitter that was a strictly home run type hitter. So it's great to see this being added. Also, like if you wanted some move speed and you actually got the cycle, you know, even though the move speed and cycle is a 450, you know, some people might value that move speed over the plus hit. The good thing about this as well is for like the pitching deck. If you got Billionaire now and you had a ton of int, you could take Billionaire over the actual all-rounder. That's actually great on choosing the titles. I mean, there should be no one should have a negative opinion about choosing titles. Also gonna finally improve the cores to where you can hold more cores. And my boys, I'm not even a well, and man, I have core issues like crazy. So this is something that's needed. I'm all for it and very happy about it. And that's basically it of what they talked about on the patch notes or the development notes. And my boys, they left out a lot of stuff that we needed to talk about, my boys. What about scenario revamps? Like, there's no, hey, we're talking about revamping scenarios. At this time, we're going to focus on Shining Angels, then MU, then whatever. We don't get any of that. Like I don't know why they didn't say anything about that in these development notes, which is very huge. Like, you know, some of the wars is getting boring, my boys. Like, I mean, come on, let's be honest. It's the only scenario that's worth it to run. Like, everybody's running Summoner Wars because it was that good, but it's boring just to run one scenario. I would like to change up scenarios, but I cannot because if I go into another scenario, their tier is just not going to be as high as Summoner Wars. So my boys, I'm just really not feeling that. I really think that was something that should have been talked about, is the actual revamp of scenarios, and we didn't get anything. And I want to go back and talk about the trainers again, and just the different stats. Once again, I know I said it before, I'm going to say it again, like support stones, my boys. Like, god damn, like how many support stones will we really need for this if this does happen? Like, it will be something that's, like I said, great for the whales. It's great for the whales. I'm not saying it's not, but for your normal players, it is what it is. And I just don't know if that's good, if that's bad, if it's going to split up the player base, how many players are going to be lost. I mean, the game's already like losing a lot of players, and I don't know how I personally feel about this system. I'm hoping it changes or it's not what it seems to be to me, but I just don't personally know, my boys. Like, I want this system to be great, and I want it to be something that everybody's excited about and can do, but I just don't want it to be extensive on the resources. And boys, another thing they didn't talk about, My Player Classic pitching mode. When are we getting it? Is it happening? I don't know. There's no, hey, we're going to be trying to launch My Player Classic pitching mode such and such time. So are we just not getting it for the first quarter at all? Like, it's not talked about. Once again, this is stuff that should be brought up in these development notes, so we know the path and the cycle that they're going and what they're doing. Nothing's brought up, my boy. So it's just like, hey, what's going on? Don't know. Do they care? I don't know. But we don't know. And that was something that I'm pretty sure a lot of us was hoping that would be talked about and brought up. My Player Classic. I wish they would have talked about My Player Classic a little bit in these notes. We did not get any information of when the pitching mode is releasing once again, which we did, so we could basically just know when it's coming, and that, hey, it's coming at this time. Now, I don't know if it's coming this quarter or if it may be coming sometime in the summer. Like, I really don't know. So that's one of the things they did not talk about. One of the things I would have loved to see them actually do with the game, and we've been talking about as well, is felt lectors. It's getting annoying, my boys. It's an outdated system. They did not address this at all in these development notes, and it's something that needs to be talked about. Everyone's tired of doing these runs and getting these felt lectors. I would also like to see them expand the development mastery tree. They did not do that as well. Like there's, like I said, it's a lot of positive from this, but man, it's just like these development notes, because we haven't had any since October, my boys. They should have talked about a lot more so we could actually know the state and what's going on with this game. Like right now, the state of the game is it's in pretty bad shape, my boys. I gotta be honest with you. We got one scenario to run. There's no other scenario you could run to make players that are good besides Summoner Wars, my boys. Like every other scenario is obsolete now, and that's terrible game design. So we have one scenario to run. We can't run anything else. That's it. Main thing resources need to go on to me is revamping scenarios so we have multiple scenarios to run and it's fun. There's people who like MU. There's people who like Shining Angels. There's people who love ZK. They want to run those scenarios, but they cannot because you're pitting them and forcing them to run one scenario in order to make the best player that they could possibly make. They can't make any gains in ZK. They can't make any gains in Shining Angels or MU, and that's just is what it is. So the number one thing to me that needs to be fixed and changed is these scenarios themselves. Please, my boys, the development team, please use those resources on doing that first so we have a complete game and we can play multiple scenarios. Another thing that's in bad shape, my boys, and I've probably said this a billion times, and I'm gonna say it some more. Support stone, my boys. Support stone, support stone, support stones. They need to make where we get these faster, my boys. They need to be just like the UR pills, where we always see these UR pills. It needs to be the same thing with the UR support stones. They need to add them to other shops. They need to make to where you can get them in Planet League. They need to make to where you get them more when you open your cubes versus the pills. Like, support stones are needed to progress, and it's just a big slowdown. You know, Wells, they just buying up the support stones, and that's all fine and dandy, but for everyone else, it's a time gap. If you're lucky, if the game is feeling nice, you may get 2 to 3 a week, and sometimes you just don't get any. You can only buy 2 from the shop. So you could buy 2 UR support stones a month from the PvP shop. Everything else is what the game wants to give you, and if you get lucky enough to get them from UR boxes, if you get any. So it's a terrible system. It's slowing down the game progress drastically, and with this new system coming, it's gonna even slow it down even more. Please fix the UR support stones. Alright, trainers. They are doing a good job on actually revamping some of the trainers. As we see, your girl Soyeon just got a buff, a nice buff for her as well. I hope they continue to do that and they just keep on buffing trainers. My girl Rachel needs some love. Caroline needs some love. Luna needs some love. There's a lot of trainers out there that needs a lot of love. And I'm glad to see them going through and changing trainers and making them better. I remember Helga's buff was really great. She's a great trainer to have now. And same thing with Soyeon. She's a great trainer to have now. I just hope that they keep doing buffs like that. That's positive things that we need for this game. With that said, my boys, that's going to be it for today's video. It's your boy Jonathan. I'm out. You guys have a good one. Make sure y'all have a great 22. Stay positive out there, people. Don't let nobody get you down. Y'all have a good one. Peace.